The remainder theorem and the factor theorem is based off of what you did on your work yesterday. If you are doing synthetic division, and we'll just run through a synthetic division for those who were not here yesterday. Yesterday, you were given a factor, x minus 2, a factor, and you set that factor equal to 0, and you used the 0 to work through all of your synthetic division problems. Today, you are going to get it as a 0, but in function notation. Remember, function notation is that f with the number in it. That means x equals that number. With the synthetic division, we're going to use the number that's in your parentheses. That is your x value. That's your 0. To do the synthetic division, you're going to bring this first number down past your line. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 5 is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 minus 1 is 5. The 5 is the remainder. If 5 is the remainder, that means x minus 2 is not a factor. Factor means that you multiply this number times another number to equal a third number. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 and 3 are factors of 6. If I divide 6 by 3, I get 2, remainder 0. If I divide 6 by 2, I get 3, remainder 0. If you get a remainder, then it is a factor. If you get a remainder of 0, it's a factor. If you get a remainder that's a number that's not 0, it is not a factor. Does that make sense? On your assignment today, you're going to write your answer a little bit different. You were given f of 2, and you have a remainder of 5. You're going to write down f of 2 equals 5. You're not going to write it out as a quotient with a remainder like you did yesterday. Now, the other thing that you need to keep in mind, if you have this function f of 2 and you type in, and this is what you did on the last test, and I don't think anybody missed this problem. If you have f of 2, you're going to substitute a 2 everywhere there's an x in that problem. Raised to the third power plus 2 times 2 squared minus 5 times 2 minus 1. And the answer is, anybody know?
I don't remember.
The answer is going to be whatever this remainder is.
I just want you to know I missed that problem.
Equals 5. F of 2 equals 5. Okay? That is called direct substitution. Substitute it in directly. Just plug it in, just like you did in Algebra 1. Or you can choose to do synthetic division. Next problem. X to the 4th plus 7x to the 3rd plus 8x squared plus 11x plus 5. Here's our f of x. And we need f of negative 6. And it says you're going to do A, synthetic division, and B, evaluating it directly. All right? The first thing we're going to do is synthetic division. 1, 7, 8, 11, 5. We're going to do our upside down. The negative 6 goes directly in. Bring down the 1. 1 times the negative 6. 7 minus 6. Negative 6 times 1. 8 minus 6. 2 times negative 6. 11 minus 12. Negative 6 times negative 1. And our answer then is 11. Now I'm going to do direct substitution. Anytime you're putting in a negative, you need to put parentheses. Negative 6 raised to the 4th power plus 7. Negative 6 raised to the 3rd power plus 8 times negative 6 to the 2nd power plus 11 times negative 6 plus 5. And what's my answer going to be? What did I do wrong? Negative 6 to the 4th plus 7, negative 6x to the 3rd plus 8 times negative 6 to the 2nd plus second enter. I knew there was a problem. Why? Because I didn't get the same answer. Okay? So if you're sure you typed it in right in the calculator, then you know your synthetic division was messed up. All right? So that's an easy way to check it. So there shouldn't be any corrections on these because you now know how to check yourself, right? So there you go. Everybody should make 100.
You just write 11.
Yes.
Not show it.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Okay, so the factor theorem says if you get a remainder of 0, then it is a factor. If I have x plus 3, and I want to know, is this a factor of the cubic function 2x cubed plus 5x squared minus 6x minus 7, and it says find your f of c either by using synthetic division and the remainder theorem or by evaluating directly. My question is, what is your 0? Negative 3. It's the opposite of this one. C equals negative 3. Second question, which way do you want to evaluate it? Either by synthetic division or direct substitution. Make a decision, pick it. I don't care. 2, negative 3 raised to the 3rd plus 5, negative 3 squared minus 6 times negative 3 minus 7, enter. F of negative 3 equals 2. Is x plus 3 a factor of 2x to the 3rd plus 5x squared minus 6x minus 7?
No, because I have a remainder of 2.
The answer is no. So you answer the question yes, no. Now, use synthetic division to factor completely. Last set of instructions. No, actually, there's 2 more. We are going to see if x minus 2 is a factor of x to the 3rd minus 6x squared minus 13x plus 42. Fastest way. What do you want to do?
2 and plug in 2 to the x's.
All right. If I plug in a 2, 2 raised to the 3rd minus 6 times 2 raised to the 2nd minus 13 times 2 plus 42, it is a 0. Now, to completely factor it, I know that x minus 2 is going to be a factor. I'm going to do synthetic division. 3, 2, 1, constant. I'm not missing anything. I'm going to use the 2. Doing the synthetic division. To get 0. If this is x to the third and I divided out the x minus 2 factor, this is x squared minus 4x minus 21. Unfoil it. What did you multiply together to get x squared? What did you multiply that gives you 21 that subtracts to give you 4? The larger number takes the middle sign and write down your x minus 2 to begin with. Now it is completely factored. And you're done. Do you need to see another one like that? Completely factoring. No? You're good? All right.
Wait, why did you pick 2 again?
We didn't pick 2. This g of x says x minus 2.
Oh, I thought that was like.
Set the x minus 2 equal to 0. The 0's 2. If you have a k, x to the third, 19x squared plus x minus 6, and we have x plus 3 is a factor, what value of k does this need to be so that you get a remainder of 0? K, 19, 1, negative 6. I'm using negative 3.
When you take the K down.
Take the k down and negative 3k. Now we have a negative 3k plus 19. What do you do with it now? Multiply it by this negative 3. 9k and 19 times negative 3 is a negative 57. That means this one is 9k minus 56. Now what do I do? Multiply it by negative 3. So negative 27k and 168. Negative 27k plus 162 has to do what for me to solve for k? If this is a factor, then what does it have to equal?
0.
0.
So you would subtract 162.
Negative 27k equals a negative 162 and divide by the negative 27. K is going to be 6.
Is there a way to do that somewhere?
To me, that's the easiest way because you know when you get to the end, it has to be equal to. And those say find or solve for k. What?
Could you work it backwards since you only have 6 to
You could work backwards, absolutely. Yeah, I really thought you all would have started with going backwards because that's what most students say. But yeah, you can work it the other way. It doesn't matter.
Why would you
Okay,
go there with
if you
X?
are going backwards, k 19, 1, negative 6, negative 3. This has to be a 0, which means this has to be a 6, right? What did I multiply negative 3 by to get 6? A negative 2. What has to go with 1? 1 plus or minus what number gives you a negative 2? A negative 3. What do I need to multiply the negative 3 by to get a negative 3? 1. What has to be subtracted from 19 to equal 1? What did I multiply negative 3 by to get 18?
that has to be
A negative 18. Oh, good catch. Plus 1.
You said it, you just didn't write it.
That's crazy. I don't know.
Why?
So it doesn't matter to me.
I don't like that.
Working backwards just seems easy.
If working backwards is easier for you, then you do it that way. If that doesn't make any sense to you and you understood the first way, then you can do it the first way. Those questions are, do you really understand what it is you're doing? Okay, and you're finding the value of k to make it work. Now, there's an infinite number of numbers out there. Again, once you figure out which one it is, you can actually plug it in and do the synthetic division to make sure you're right.